Inspired by kingdom principles that work for you.
So, we're back. We're back because listen, y'all come for my life today with my married self. I wish I was still single so I could have really get down and dirty but I got a heart. That's what marriage do to your child. Put a lid on your lip to an extent. All right. But hey, that's the path I chose. So
that you were blessed
I would say that I was blessed with. Okay, I just say she's not marrying the ice cream man. Tanya said she'll give him a chance. And Tashawn said she got grown people issues and bills. Don't come to her with that foolishness. So you know what I gotta do? So you know what I gotta do? Because y'all sharp on your mouth. Y'all.
Experience, man. Experience.
I got a friend to help me out around here. Because all this women perspective, we gonna need a man's perspective. This could be amazing. So I'm going to call on my friend. Listen, there's nothing that I do around here that he's not included. Anybody knows that. Whatever I do, one Mr. Leonardo Burrows somewhere around the place. That man is like one of my number one fans, and I appreciate him.
Yes.
One of the most eligible bachelors in the Bahamas. I ain't saying Nassau, in the Bahamas. Everybody that wants Nagnata. But not only married either, which I trying to figure out what's going on there. But what is it that he's newly engaged.
Right.
So he did find what the rest of the girls didn't possess, and I want to know what that is. What do the most eligible bachelor in Bahamas, how she get it? There must have been something that she possessed that all the other women did not. But I ain't getting in that because Leonardo will tell us that himself. Welcome to the forum, ladies. Mr. Leonardo Burrows. Nado!
Welcome.
Oh,
Nado!
Hi, Ray.
Forgive me now. Sorry, friend. Sorry, I missed this to you, but I come and put you in the wasp nest. I hope you ready, because listen.
So I know this.
These women ain't playing now.
Women on tonight. I mean, wow.
Don't take that beauty. They're playing with y'all, man. They're playing.
That was a peace offering.
You're all in front.
Nado, I'm glad you're here, man, because you could add a different perspective to this conversation. And congratulations. Like I mentioned, you are newly engaged. And I also said that you were the most eligible bachelor. You still are because you're not married. In the Bahamas. You're intelligent. And I'm going to say this as my friend. I've never really met a man that has such a gentle spirit and really puts gentle in gentlemen. He served me. He served my girls that I mentor. And I'm talking about serve them food and show them how a man should treat them. So you're the epitome of what women want. You're the epitome of it. That's why I have you here. And you were, again, I said, just newly engaged, but you were sought after. And I don't need for a motivational speaker either. Let me just put that in there. You've been in many forums and many places. You traveled, so you've rubbed shoulders with a lot of women. What were you looking for that you found that most women do not possess? Y'all know, let him answer, please. Just put your fingers on your lips, though, because I know you are. Put your fingers on your lips. Go ahead, Nado.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much, Ray, for having me. And I see my friends, and I have to make peace early because I already see that today is going to be quite interesting. Let's see, I'm among friends, so I feel a little bit more settled. Yes, I got engaged last year, and it wasn't because other women didn't possess what my fiance possessed, because you'll find that the Bahamian women are phenomenal women. For me, what I look for, and you'll find that with every guy, the preference is basically different. I am somewhat old school, and old school makes me the one. I love the hunt. I love to be the one that pursues as opposed to being pursued. And that works well for me. I also admire a woman who not only loves God, and when I say loves God, I wanted to have a relationship with him, but I don't want it to be so deep that she is out of touch with what's happening in the world that God gave us to enjoy. And that's what I look for. And then I look for the whole aspect of a woman who will respect me and help pull out of me the man that God has placed on the inside. Because Miles Monroe puts it this way: whatever you give to a woman, she multiplies. So once you come with talent, once you come with ability, she finds the way to pull that out so that you can blossom, because she knows and she understands her place well enough that once this man is empowered, I'll be taken care of and I'll be straight.
Okay, that's good. So that means then you may not come ready, but
Right,
she has the ability to make you ready.
right. Because
Keandra saying, don't come half stepping, come ready, buddy. But
but
are men ever ready?
Okay,
Then
so
if, no, hold on, Keandra. Let me try this out. Let me try this out. Tanya, I want I can let y'all have your debate. I can sit here and I'm gonna take my mug and I'm gonna sip it. So Tanya, if they gotta come ready, why do we have to be helpmates? And what is a helpmate? Are we seeing helpmate wrong? Are we seeing helpmate as um cooking, cleaning? Is that what the man see as a helpmate? Cooking, cleaning, washing, keeping the children, and all this stuff. What is a helpmate? And if they have to come ready, do we? What is the need for a helpmate? Talk to that, Tanya.
Well, for me, presently, I'm in my process of being holistically ready. And so I cannot expect someone who is fully ready and I'm not. And help me or a helpmate is just that, someone that helps. But of course, he has to come with something. He has to come with his part, and I come with mine, and we put the 50-50 together to make a whole.
Okay. Tashan, what is a helpmate?
A helpmate for me is someone who supports my vision, someone who is there to support who God called me to be. But however, you also need to be in a place where I can be your helpmate. So your vision you have to be doing something for me to help you, pretty much.
You gotta have a vision, right?
Yeah, you have to have a vision for me to help you. Like if I'm supposed to be your helpmate, what am I helping you with if you don't have a vision? If you just chilling?
Right.
Okay, good. Now let me ask you this question, and then you and Kay Andrew could go at it. So Nado, are men getting the word submissive and subservient mixed up? When y'all think it's submissive? Yeah. What y'all thinking about? Because y'all like call us aggressive. What is submissive? Or do y'all want subservient? Tell me. Let me get it.
For me, I look at things different. My perspective may be different from other males, and I'm speaking based on how I see it. A submissive woman to me is a woman who knows her place, her strength, and she isn't intimidated to utilize that, bringing that to the relationship. However, traditional values taught that submissive means yes or whatever you say, master, cook the food, make sure everything is ready when I reach here. But as you have seen the evolution of the world and roles, you come to understand that for a man to make it in society, he needs that woman's strength, not just in the home but outside. So submissive has nothing to do with listening to what he says. It's being assertive to communicate things with him, understanding that I support you, but I have a view. I'm not a servant. We're in this together. So you have the equal role with equal responsibility, but not being able to communicate that. And for me as a male to accept that, I will always be intimidated by a strong woman because I see her as someone who's trying to take my role away from me and not as someone who's complementing that. So that's the big difference in my view.
Okay. What do you think? What do you think, Leonardo saying we need to know our place?
I saw your facial expression when he said we need to know our place. I was like, ooh, this should be fiery. I think there's a difference between, okay, how do I want to word this? We've become so accustomed to traditional gender roles.
Right.
And gender roles is not, it's not the same thing as, for a lack of better words, a place. Because really and truly, when you're in a relationship, and how I see it from the examples that I've had around me in my life, when you're in a marriage, both of you occupy the same place. And when I say you occupy the same place, you occupy the place of, this is the home that we are creating. This is the environment that we are creating together. And in order for us to create this together, I may be stronger in this particular area of our relationship and our marriage, and you may be stronger in another area. And when we bring those things together, we complement each other so that we are in this place together. Now, that may mean in one particular person's home environment, this gentleman or the guy is the chef, the cook. Because me as a woman, I may not be the chef or the cook, but because we balance each other, we make it work together. Now, with the whole submissive side of things, to an extent, I agree with Leonardo, but the other side of it, in terms of submission, in my opinion, is understanding that my husband or my fiance, he is the head of our environment or in our relationship. And in that, I do have to respect his decisions and his judgments, but that does not mean that I am going to, thank you, I'm going to just let things slide. If you're doing something right and that I wholeheartedly believe in, you will have no, as they say, back talk from me. But if I'm not convicted to the same extent as you are on a particular matter, we will have to have a conversation about that. And Lord help my mouth that I'm saying it the right way so I don't come off aggressive or assertive.
Yeah, but go ahead.
When you talk about submission in that way, like ultimately a man has to understand his role. And yes, and I hate to use the word role because we don't use it in the right way. We use it very loosely, but he has to understand who he is as a being. I mean, from the 50-50 perspective,
girl, you know I was just going to that.
We have to be whole individuals coming into a relationship. And especially going into a marriage. I can't come into a marriage as a 50% person because all I'm going to give you is 100% of my 50%. But if I'm coming into that marriage and relationship as a 100% person, we bringing it together. It's going to make sense. And out of that, we will be able to produce what we desire and the vision. So many people go into relationships and marriage without a vision for their relationship and their marriage. And then you wonder why a month, 6 months, a year down the road, everything crumbles into pieces because at the end of the day, you both don't have something that you're working on together to achieve together. So that's my 2 cents. Sorry.
Michelle, you have something to interject?
You know what? They cover all of it. And they you know what? No, I do. You know what? Honestly, I guess I'm a different kind of breed because I treasure the covenant of marriage. So for me, that's why I'm not in a rush to jump into anything with the wrong person because I'm the kind of woman, I'm submissive. I'm the kind of woman, I would wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to make sure that your breakfast is ready and your lunch is packed for the day and I'm ironing your clothes for the week. I'm cutting your toenails, massaging your feet, making you nice bath water. Like I'm that kind of woman.
And
I
getting you
take
those
care of
just
you.
because.
But you have to be that man that is worthy of me doing all of this for you. So that's why I'm here and I'm quiet, I'm laid back. And maybe that's why I'm still single, because I know what I bring to the table and I'm not in a rush, because I am not going to stand for me bringing 150 of me and you only bring in 25. That does not work for me.
Hello.
Nado, Tashan said she would do all of that, but you have to be worthy. Is that a contradiction? I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to
No,
ask you a question.
I don't think
Let
it's
me
a
go
contradiction.
ahead.
And when I use the phrase "know your role," it's not to make the female seem or appear subservient. I'm just
I
giving
know
it
you would never do that.
from the fact that even with us as males, if we see the woman as beneath us, we get nowhere because we will never value her or pull out of her what God has placed in her so she could understand her role as a queen. So my whole view with it is being able to communicate that and for males to understand that women, they're precious, they're powerful. And if you could unlock that, trust me, she will worship you, the ground you walk on, and she will be loyal to you.
But Nada, you said something to the fact that you want, every man wants to be the person that pursues. They want to be the hunter because that's their makeup.
Mm-hmm.
They are to hunt. We are to be the hunted. But do you believe that the society today has kind of conditioned women to feel like it's okay for you to be the, now some of us are still very old school, but they've told us that, girl, if you want it, go get it. Now y'all know we ain't lying. And we have to go get in our careers. We have to go get in our families. We have to go get in our homes. So in us, we have this, listen, we want it and we have to have it, so we go get it. So now you see all of these women now on their knees proposing. Our men being a little bit too, and then we come off like, oh, I don't want her because she's not understanding that she's been conditioned that way. Are men being a little too tough on women, or we just need to get it together?
But you'll find that a lot of things have changed, especially with the
Yeah.
mixing
Hold
of
on, right before you
cultures.
finish that, hold on, Nano, because I want you to speak to this too while you're doing. Because y'all want us to go get everything else. Y'all want us to be the man and everything else. Y'all want us to bring 50 to the table, which is not a problem. And y'all wanted to do this, but then y'all want to say, no, but you're too aggressive. Y'all killing me. What y'all want? Tell me. What is going on? What's going on? Speak to
But
that, Leonardo.
but a lot of changes in today's society and today's world,
Mm-hmm.
you find that boys as they grow up and women, this is not to offend, a lot of them grow up under their mother's gown tail. She always provides. If he falls down, she picks him up. Oh, baby, you will be okay. So he never establishes a level of independence where he learns what his strength is because mommy does it for him. Mommy gives him the money when he goes to school. Mommy pays. She doesn't want him to work hard because the sun is too hot. And then when it's time for a job because he graduated from school, she go fill out the application for him. And if somebody talks hard to him, she goes stand up for him. So he's always slow because he's privileged and entitled. So when you find a woman who's strong and she shows up, he's moving a bit slow. He has potential, nice looking fella. He will do well. She feels that he needs a little nudging, right? And for some guys, they're okay with that. They'll accept that. But the problem is when they snag him and in the marriage or in the relationship, they're like, what happened to you? You have no drive, you have no enthusiasm. He never had none.
Exactly.
So
Hello.
that's a big miss. So you find that you have the clash with different times that we're living in. But for a lot of us, old school like me, hey, I like the hunt. Now, some fellas take long and they need a nudge because from puberty, they tell you that sometimes males blossom a little bit slower than females. However, for a female, my encouragement to them is always don't let that brother take you for a ride because if he knows he can get a ride, he will never
Go on,
Why
drive.
buy the
Yeah.
cow when you can get the milk for free, eh?
because he wants who he wants. And when he has to fight for it, he does it differently. But women sometimes spoil men,
Hello.
and they give in too
Yes.
quickly.
Yes. So what does a nudge look like then, Nano? What does a nudge look like? Like
The nudge may be hard.
I want me up on you, but I need you to know, boo boo.
The nudge is playing hard to get, ignoring a call every now and again. And you have to watch out for brothers because they run mind games. Because females are a little bit more emotional when it comes to affection, attention, and all those stuff. So they feel valued with a little bit of it. And they feel if I give this man all of this, probably he will look at me. Again, I say he wants who he wants.
Right.
And he will go after it. He's
So
talking to who he wants to talk to. He's texting who he wants to text. But when you make it easy for him, then he knows that this is always going to be here. So there's no need for him to work to get it.
So I'll also add in there as well, Rayette, before you go on. A man knows who he wants to marry if you are that woman. It's not going to take him no nudge. It's not going to take him 5 years to figure that out. It's not going to take him 2 children and all of that to figure out if he wants to marry you. A man knows when he is ready. Now, I will also add to this. It's a hard no for me on the female proposing to the dude. That's a hard no.
Oh, a hard no.
No.
Hard no.
I don't know. Is there a word harder than hard?
There is, but I'm not going to use that. It ain't
so, Nado, you always hear this thing about men know in 6 months who they want to marry. Is that true?
Yes.
I said Nado. Is it true? They might not get married within the 6 months, but in 6 months, do they know?
Sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't, because love is so unexplainable that, and I look at it this way because love has measures just like faith, and some people they fall deeper because they are emotionally vulnerable, and male and female doesn't stop you from being emotionally vulnerable, because you could flip that and women say the same thing. They know, and some work out that way, and then some don't. Because some people, we have these strong convictions or compelling feelings, whether we call it the spirit or what we think, and we make those assumptions. Some people go at it hard because this is who I want, and this is who I'm gonna get. So they work and they plant the seeds to make it happen. And sometimes it comes through, and sometimes it doesn't. So that's each his own scenario.
So Leonardo, is it that y'all don't really know after 6 months, or y'all are afraid of commitment, afraid of that next step, and simply ignoring it?
See, brothers are at different emotional stages and maturity stages, right? So their level of acceptance for a lot of things is totally different. 15 years ago, I wasn't interested in no marriage. Marriage to do what? Now, if I met a lady and she say, okay, yeah, he looked like he could be a good man for me. Yeah, you could say that as much as you want. I didn't even see it. My eyes in other places. See?
Right.
But even she fits the bill. She may have everything he wants, but he isn't interested in settling down now.
Right.
Put me down to the place that I am now.
Right.
2 years ago, I'm ready to settle down. I want to get married. I want children.
Right.
So, as far as I'm concerned, you just make that decision. And like I mentioned before, again, people are at different stages in their life, emotionally and as it relates to their maturity level.
Right.
Okay.
So that's Tanya. So that's why it is so important, actually, when dating, to make sure that person is where you are emotionally and mentally. Because if there's an imbalance, okay, in the Christian term, you got to be equally yoked. A lot of times we like to refer to equally yoked from the perspective of a financial means or a family means. Being equally yoked with a person extends, or just them being Christian. It extends to so many other facets of your life. And if we are putting ourselves in situations and relationships with people who aren't in the same wavelength or even in the same chapter of the same book, it is going to spell for disaster.
Definitely. That's why I'm still single.
Agreed. You know what? And I want to
I need to. Go ahead, Tashan. Go ahead,
I
please.
want to add to that, and it also ties back to, I think, someone saying that a man knows within 6 months, if you are a potential wife or a potential mate. But I think when people are dating, you are dating their representative. You're not dating their true self. They send their representative. So for me, don't propose to me after 6 months because I still haven't gotten to know you. I want to know what you look like in the midst of an argument. What does it look like after? Because guess what? Time and consistency reveals all things.
Wow.
And then when you get comfortable, then your true self will start to show, and that whole representative will start to fall away in the back. So for me, I don't mind being there a little bit longer for the long haul because I want to truly see who you are and not jump into a marriage with your representative.
See,
You
and
know,
that,
hold on, 1 minute. You know what, Tashan, based on what you just said, that can vary too as to where you are. Let me tell you why. Darian and I got engaged 6 months after we met. I didn't send a representative because of who and the place that I was at.
Yeah.
I always said to him, you are going to make a choice based on the truth.
All of this. Yep.
You're going to make a choice based on the truth. I wasn't selling a solitary soul. This is who it is. Oh, this it. Loud, aggressive, bossy, sometimes controlling, and very crazy.
oh Jesus.
But can get now put your hand down.
No,
You better,
I
you
support
better,
you. I support you.
you better put your hand down. That's let everybody know you know that part of me. But
Hello.
I went to him.
Really?
I tell you, you've been with me for a long time. But
I know
based
that
on the
part of
truth,
you
so
too.
so, so 6 years I could still have a representative because all I want to do is be married. So I can keep this going on as long as I need to till I snag you. But when you go in saying that I want a marriage that works, you reveal yourself early because you need to know what I need to know. We need to know what we're getting ourselves into. If you kind of understand what I'm saying, because I had a talk with Darian early. We had talks. Let me tell you one of the talks that we had. We laid down one night, just laying down, hanging out as friends. And I said to him, let's play the if someone was to say something about me game. And he was like, what is that game? I said, tell me everything somebody would come to me and say about you that could throw me for a loop. And he
Wow.
started to bring off stuff. And I said, let me tell you some things people are going to come to say to you. Some may be true, some will not be true, but people crafty. So let me tell you what they will say. So when they come to you and say it, you say, I know. That's how I
Right.
entered in my
No
relationship because
surprise.
I don't have time for games. Then I said to him, if you're not looking to be married, you want to date, leave me alone.
Right.
Because
Yes.
I want to be married.
Right.
You nice and all, you had so much little curly hair and all that stuff, but get to step in with you to hold me up.
Right.
Because I'm at the place in my life, I want to be married now.
Right.
So I think those kinds of where you are determines how you come in here. Because you could fake for 3 years.
Yeah.
You could
Agreed.
fake for 3 years. So what were you
Definitely.
saying now? I think you could fake for 3 years. We
I,
had some fakers, didn't we? Okay
I'm,
then.
I'm actually agreeing with you. And I think once people get to the place where they know who they are and what they're ready for, they don't have time for games. Because whether the man
Exactly.
decides, I know I want to marry you in 6 months, that's your business. Because I know that I'm marriage material. I know I'm good enough. So you don't come here
Exactly.
because I'm not going out on 50 dates. I'm not sitting up in your house and in your car looking up in your face. I don't have time for that. I on a mission. So either you come ready or you keep going. And I
Keep
think
going.
But you
time
said
to there,
something
we
very
begin
key.
to attract the right set of people based on
Right.
what we want.
You said something very important there. You know who
What?
you are. No, he
Mm-hmm,
knows
mm-hmm,
who he is. A
mm-hmm,
lot of times when we are dating, we are in that process trying to figure out self. How you could be trying to be somebody's wife and you don't know who you are.
Who you
Y'all
are.
gonna have one set of conch salad children. What
Right.
are you doing?
And a count salad marriage.
Yep.
A conch
Let's
salad
not
everything.
let's
All
not
I heard
let's
was
not
count.
let's not forget that.
All I heard was count. What?
See? And that is just what Keandra said. That ties into everything that the women have been saying is women men do not understand. This is what I want. This is what I desire. You want me to fake it? I come into you and tell you I'm not cooking 7 days of the week.
Right.
But you know what we do? We as girlfriends go cooking 7 days of the week. And then when we get married, we tired.
You don't want to cook.
And now we come off looking like you're not the one. No, I'm not cooking 7 days of the week, boo boo. And I'm not hopping around like a bunny either, because I own. We have to talk about all these things. We're not swinging from the We're not swinging from the chandelier standing on our head. We're not doing it. You're
Some
going
might.
to make a choice based on the truth. No, I'm just saying me. People can swing wherever they. No, I'm not swinging. I'm fluffy and I'm a little on the old side now. I can't do it.
That's why Ray, it's good to have a list, and you have all these stuff. You have to be this, you have to be that. But then, as you get older, you get to understand that what are all these things for? Either I want somebody to love me, respect me. This is what I'm into. This is where I'm going, and that's what I'm working with. Because you find that you'll be living in a fairy tale, and the person you're looking for, they do not exist.
They do not.
Yes. And then you waste time. And you waste time. You waste resources and energy and all kind of emotions are invested. And God forbid if you have kids and you bring the kids into this mess. So I agree with you 100%.
Definitely. And
my goodness.
I had a list.
Go ahead.
I had to throw my list away. I mean, there are still some qualities that I am looking for.
And that they must possess.
But those qualities I give to God. Like every single time I pray for my husband. He's not here yet, but I'm praying for him. And this is why when the man comes, when the one approaches me, I will be able to discern who he is.
Even if he's the ice cream man.
Even if he's the ice cream man, this is superstar and nutty bars. Okay? But Tanya, one thing I do love about you, and the reason why
background.
Go ahead, Nano, sorry. Let me be submissive.
Background, because we say, Lord, I love my Bahamian dark chocolate salad.
No, child, I open everything.
Say that, Nano. Go right there.
Okay. I just
everything.
Thank you.
He can be Caucasian.
He could be anything. He could be Caucasian.
I remember this. Listen to me. Listen to my list. I will never marry a Jamaican, a teacher, or a man whose hair was longer than mine. That sounded stupid, but those were three things. My husband is a teacher, a Jamaican, and when he came to me, he had a ponytail.
Won't God do it?
You know who was laughing? You know who was laughing? And shame?
Yes.
Because every minute I want, baby, we can't go live in Jamaica. No, this can't be you. Who say you didn't want to? So your list has to, like things like, that just don't make, that just don't make no sense. Sometimes I think you and I talked about that. But one of the things that I love about you is you dub yourself the Jesus girl, but you're very real. And we have to be real with ourselves and real with the things that we want and the things that we desire. So we're going to wrap up because, listen, this was supposed to be, probably, my technical people in the back there saying, but I want us to just, wasn't it good? Look like we need a part.
No, this was great.
5 by now. Yeah.
This was great.
Yeah. But I want everybody to get a final word. No, I have another question for Nado before I go. We talked about it before, but I want to hear from a man. Lord, we gonna let this go. I want to hear it from a man perspective. Nado, does a woman and man have to be on the same purpose path to truly connect?
No, because you find that once they're able to communicate, the biggest problem is communication, because you could find ways. I support you, you support me, we understand where we're going, and we decide how that will look. I think oftentimes we try to get people in our world and they don't fit there and they just don't like it and they hate it. And we snuff the relationship or the marriage or the creativity as it relates to these things. But no, if you love that person, you find a way and you work through it and you communicate so that you can get it done properly.
Communication. And I could say that too, because I mentor girls. And like I said, everyone thought that I should be with a man that mentored boys. My husband could care less for the whole mentoring thing. I can tell you that. But who sets up a show or anything for me when I need it done? Or you could go out and he always talking, you having another little princess party? He loves to say that. I could have a million princess party. He can help me blow up the balloons and do the thing, but he out of there. He out of there. So if I was sitting here saying, oh, I waiting for a man who mentors girls, I would have still been sitting here.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And I love what Nalo said. It's about communication. That's your thing, babe. Go do your thing. This is my thing over here. And when we get together, we're going to talk about it. I'm going to support you. You're going to support me. So I just wanted to put, because I believe that we're missing out on a lot of relationships with that myth. Because I think it's quite boring, actually. But hey, that's just me. That's just me. Because Tanya could be the lady who's on the pulpit administering and stuff, and her husband just sitting there, he in the corporate world. But I got you,
But
baby.
he's
When you
touching
come,
me. He
Yeah.
is
that's what I'm saying. When you come home, be like, babe, you really prayed tonight. But I'm the man of this house and I'm going to pray over the family tonight. But you did a good job tonight, baby.
Uh-huh.
That means massage your feet tonight. But you over here, he over here.
It's too much.
It makes for competition.
Yep.
The human side of us, it's going to make for competition. Now I want my event to be more powerful than yours.
right.
That's it.
You see what I'm saying? So Tashan is traveling all over the world. It ain't gotta be no one. But when you come home, he grabbed them luggage from the door and he said, "Babe, how was the trip?
Listen,
How much more do you need to build that school? I got you. I ain't coming with you because that ain't my thing, but I got you." And I think a lot of women were missing out on that because of that. But this was good conversation. So everybody has 2 minutes to sum up what they think. Tanya, starting with you. Your final 2 minutes. I'm gonna let the man end it. Tanya.
My thing is, God knows what you want. He also knows what you need.
What
And
you
so
need.
sometimes he doesn't always give us what we, really, really want. He gives us what we need, but he ensures that what we want is a part of what we need. And so all we have to do, we have our plans, we have our list, give them to God and allow God to do the rest. He will give you who is best for you and best for your purpose and best for your destiny.
And
Amen.
be patient and wait on it. Tashan.
To sum it all up, there's nothing wrong with being single right now so that you can work on being the best version of yourself for when your husband arrives. Also, men, step out of the box, step out. Like, we want you guys to approach us. Women are not as complicated as you might think. We want just the basic. We want someone who has a job, right? We want someone who listens, and we want someone who communicates. And if you are able to cover us, that's a bonus. That's it. It's not that complicated. So we just ask you to step out of your shell, because a lot of us out here are waiting for you.
My husband said we only want money and loyalty, but that's another show.
He only want what?
My husband said, "But your women only want 2 things: pay my bills and don't cheat on me." Just
That's not true.
Amen.
but that's a different. That's what my husband said. See, we think different than men. See,
Yeah.
Leonardo said, "Amen."
Amen.
That's how men think. Don't
Communicate.
cheat on me.
Yeah.
Don't cheat on me and pay my bills.
See,
Is that true, Nalo? That's how we act.
I agree with him. And let me tell you something, women. When that man loves you, you do those 2 things, you will never have an issue in your life. He will work 10 jobs to keep you happy because he feels that level of respect just from you.
Respect is the word. Yeah.
You know, the Bible says husband love your wife, but never say wife love your husband. But anyhow, that's a different story for another day.
I we can have that another day. The Bible says submit, man, is to love. That's how I went into my marriage, buddy. Love
And
me,
it's
I
easy
submit.
to submit when they are loving.
There we go.
Exactly.
Yes.
Don't make me put in the Holy Ghost music. Keandra, what is the conclusion
Um,
to this matter based on
you
the
all
Chronicles of Keandra?
you all have said a lot, and I feel that it is okay to be patient for the right person.
Yes.
We need to stop wasting our time and rushing into situations just because we feel that our time is running out. At the end of the day, we women do need to live our lives more in our feminine selves and less in our masculine selves, and allow men to be the man
Men.
they are supposed to
Mhm.
be and the men they are supposed to be. It is not our place to always be that hard, tough shell. It is okay to show your feminine side. It is okay to go into a boardroom not in a pantsuit, but in a skirt suit that sits just below the knee, because that is actually more attractive to a man than the pants. It's okay for us to do certain things that allows them to be attracted to us and not always have that hard shell. So women, if you are in that place of being a professional and you're still single, continue to work on yourself. Continue to do the things that bring you to a state of wholeness, so that when that man walks into your life, you know that that's your moment, that's your woof, and woof, it can happen. So
Yes.
that's my 2 cents on that. Just
Yes.
be
Yes.
patient.
Yes.
Okay, so let me just say my piece, and then Nano is really, really going
Yes.
to conclude. And I think too, what we have to do as women too, we have to differentiate our power in the arenas that we're in. Because,
Yeah.
like I said, I always use Mr. Spence as a benchmark. He would be listen. You all see my husband there, he looks quiet. Mhm. He'd be like, listen. I know that you just came out of the classroom talking to the children. Don't bring that in here. And I think, no, and I think that is what's the problem. We're so used to leading in our arenas, we feel like we
Compartmentalize.
don't know when to shut it off.
Yeah.
That's good.
So I have to make decisions in my family. I have to make decisions in my job. I have to make decisions in this. And then when I come to my house or to my relationship, I quite know how to cut that off. So
Right.
I think that's one of the things as women that we need to do. We need to figure out how we can be what we need to be. No one said stop needing to be what you need to be and being what you are. But in the meantime, when you come to your relationship, when you come to your marriage, that man needs to know that first of all, he is the man and that he is respected as the man. So even within myself, every day, my husband just had a talk last night and I said, for the 1900 million time for we've been married, I'm gonna do better. And every day I try to do a little bit something different. So if it, this morning was getting up and saying, "Hey, baby, how did you sleep tonight, last night?" You don't know what that does to a man. Oh, she cares. Hey, how was your date? What you feel like eating for dinner? Da da da. No, but this whole, I think we just have to find our feminine side and know when to turn it off. Am I correct about that, Leonardo?
Yes, you definitely are. I, and my closing word basically is this, because as people, we aren't perfect people, and we have to understand that when we're pursuing relationships, that we won't find somebody who's perfect. Everybody has baggage. Everyone has baggage. And if you go into a relationship, get to what marriage, or even in a marriage, thinking that this is going to be fine and everything's going to be okay, you're deceiving yourself, because at some point the real test of your love will be when he betrays you or when she betrays you. Do you still love them?
Mm,
If not, then you're only in that relationship based on conditions, and that's not love. That's not love. Love is
ooh,
perfected through trials and through errors. And you understand that you work your relationships to be what you want it to what you want it to be. But one person can't do it. What you
Right.
feed will grow, what you starve will die. And the minute you stop pouring into your relationships, pouring into your marriage, it will die and you will lose connection. And I was thinking about something today. Our lives are like a house, it's under construction. But when it's completed, you always have to renovate and refurbish. And
Yes.
sometimes, even when we get the man or woman we want, we stop and we don't keep evolving and doing what is
right.
necessary to keep that love and that fire alive. So, as you continue to pursue relationships and marriage, let's remember this: we're not perfect, but with God's help, we can last and we can make it. Thank you all so much.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is the conclusion to the whole matter. Listen, this was a show. This was the show. I don't know what to call
Yes.
this show. I don't know. I don't know. The next episode, I have the married people on. I know if they come in ready like this. I don't know. But it's going to be interesting to hear their views. But thank you so much to my viewing audience. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you to Shan. Thank you, Keandra. Thank you, Leonardo. After this, they're going to be calling me on Oprah and Ayana. But they're just going to want me on their shows. And I thank you. And I'm going to call all of
You
you.
gotta
Of
come.
course not. Of course not. I'm not going to forget you. But thank you to the viewing audience for just tuning in one more time to Relationship Matters. I am your host, Rayette Spence, saying to you and reminding you that we are changing lives one relationship at a time. See you next time.
We're watching RBNTV. We are networking, promoting, we're scoring points for you, proclaiming, declaring, here to encourage you. No matter the problem, we will enlighten you. We hear you, please listen, there is a point.